Back at home, feeling misunderstood. In between these ears ain't nothing good.
Well, let's get into Beats of the Week. We're trying to win you guys money.
Keyword, trying.
Keyword. This is an apology because if you listen to our episode from last week, which you guys are seeming to enjoy a lot more, a lot of people are listening to that one on demand and everything like that. We had two lines that we were like, these are can't miss.
Hammer them.
If you guys don't put money down on them, you can't say that we did anything bad to you.
We hope you didn't listen to us.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Plus 145 for Tony Ferguson. Benil Dariush kind of just dominated him in a unanimous
Tony
decision.
Ferguson might be done.
Yeah, I think he's going to go down as one of the better fighters to never have won a championship at this point in his career. That's unfortunate because a lot of the times it was Khabib fucking up and not making weight or something like that. He
Or
had
injuries or something.
Yeah, or tearing his knee. I don't even know how, tripping over a cable at a UFC promotional event. That one was... That fight, the fact that it never happened is going to bug me a little bit. But I don't want it to happen now.
Yeah, I mean, that fight, like, it's very unfortunate that never happened. And then you talk about the main event. Man, oh man, did we miss out on that one. I thought I was sitting pretty. First round, I was like, oh, this is straight cash. Because
Hulk smash.
Because look, I had a game on Saturday night, so I was unable to watch any of the fights until the final fight. So I didn't have time to throw money on Tony, which I'm very glad about. But I had time to throw money on Mike Chandler, and I should have cashed out, bro. Oh my god. I don't know. I mean, look, you always do the what if game. But man, Mike Chandler dominated the first round.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Oliveira said, "Oh, I can do this too. I'm gonna come right back with you." And one of the greatest comebacks in a single fight we've ever seen.
That fight, I think, that's one where if they fight 10 times, there's going to be a different... It's very similar to the Rose and Wei Li fight, to where, yes, the guy won in a dominant fashion, but if they fight again, I don't see that same scenario going down. That fight could either go 5 full rounds where they're both going back and forth with each other, or it could end in Michael Chandler winning with a knockout. There's just a lot of things that's kind of unknown in that matchup. So I'm interested to see what happens next. Because at lightweight, I don't know, you can give it to Gaethje, but Gaethje's coming off of a loss to Khabib.
But Gaethje deserves it, but apparently Dana's already saying the winner of Dustin and Conor gets the title fight, which I don't know about. I mean, I don't think Conor deserves it. I think Gaethje deserves it. Gaethje has been on a win streak, and his only loss was to possibly the GOAT.
Yeah.
I don't think he deserves it.
No, he does. It's just, that's something that I think UFC, especially trying to take themselves as seriously as the NFL and NBA, they're going to look at that and go, we can't give a guy a title shot off of a loss. Whether or not it's a loss to the greatest of all time, who knows? But they've done weirder things. I mean, GSP fought for the middleweight championship and won it as a lifelong heavyweight, and I didn't agree with that one. The other one cool thing that I want to mention from that fight, were you able to watch the Barboza when he had the delay?
No, but I did see the delayed knockout was nuts.
That was insane.
The dude,
that guy has just all of the crazy knockout.
The guy
highlights.
was like this, and then he's just like.
The world just started spinning.
Doof, and just fell back.
It
and
looked
was
like a
oh,
movie.
I'm done. I can't take this.
I used to laugh at people when they
Stood there and then fell and got knocked out.
Apparently
that happens.
You could see slowly the eyes go back into that guy's head.
Yeah.
Watching the replay, I was like, why is everyone so crazy about this? I go back and watch it, and he takes a punch. He's standing there, and then he slowly stops moving, and then he just... Oh, here goes my legs. Oh, my head's against the cage. Oh, I'm getting punched. I'm done. It was nuts. It was hilarious.
Who turned off the gravity? Who started turning the field? Edson Barboza also has the crazy wheel kick of Terry Adam where he goes stiff.
That, yep.
So he's got a couple big highlights. All right, now let's we stalled long enough. Hopefully you guys have faith in us for this week's Speed.
These are some good ones. I hope.
No, most of mine probably won't go, but I had to put something down. But I'll let you start. If you got good ones, I'll let you start.
I got some very good ones. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm guaranteeing 2 of them, and this is one of them. The Mavericks are going to beat the Clippers in the first round, plus 320. Book it. Luka is going to be upset. Because the Clippers are not ready for Luka time, and Luka is going to show why he was an MVP candidate at the beginning of the year. And I feel like that's going to happen. Another beat that kind of goes along the same lines that I was struggling to find that may find out there is one of the playing teams is going to win the first round. I'm calling right now. I don't know if it's going to be the Wizards against the Nets or if it's going to be the Warriors being the Suns, Lakers being the Suns.
¿Por qué no los dos? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not the Nets and Lakers or the Nets and Jazz get knocked out in the first round?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Both number 1 seeds out. That'd be a hell of a story.
Crazy. All right, my first one. Like we said, the Canadian hockey playoffs start tomorrow night, and it's actually Winnipeg and Edmonton. But then Thursday, Montreal and Toronto. Montreal is plus 162 in Game 1 over Toronto. I don't know what to expect from the Leafs. I know to expect a lot of sadness. I know
and a lot of different names. I'll tell you that. I'm glad you're not casting that game because
I probably wouldn't be able to.
They have like 4 or 5 guys injured that aren't playing. So.
Oh boy, yeah, that's gonna be an interesting matchup. But it's the first time I'll be able to watch Austin Matthews all season. That's gonna be fun. Plus 162 for Montreal to win. We've been saying it the last few weeks. You can almost always bet on Toronto to screw up somehow in the playoffs when it comes down to postseason hockey.
They are being gifted a Final Four spot because of the division they play in, and I bet they still fuck it up somehow.
They could, and then on the other side, Montreal is the winningest franchise in NHL history.
Yeah.
So that would just be poetic justice for this to be gift wrapped and put on Toronto's platter, and then the Habs just come up from behind them and go, I would like to take this spot, so this is now mine. So plus 162 for Game 1. That's just Game 1. Didn't look at the series line, but Montreal in the first game over Toronto for me.
All right, next one. I have my next Charles Barkley guarantee.
Oh boy.
I'm jinxing myself here, but this is going to happen. Nuggets minus 105 underdog to beat the Blazers. We're not the favorite. Yes, it's slight. Both are minus, so you get your money back either way. It's kind of a weird situation. Blazers are minus 115. Nuggets are minus 105 to win the series. Underdog, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hammering that.
Book it.
Hammering that.
My next one, Logan Paul is plus 590 to beat Floyd Mayweather.
Those odds are interesting. Plus 590. I hope it doesn't happen. But I feel like the odds should be a little bit better.
Floyd is a minus 11,000 favorite, or 1,100 favorite.
Yeah, I think it might change.
It could.
Closer, yeah.
At plus 590 though, Logan Paul's like 220 pounds.
He's a lot taller and a lot bigger.
He's 6'2". I don't think he's able to weigh more than 185 pounds.
I'll tell you one thing. I will not be taking that bet because I have some pride in my life, and I will never be rooting on the Paul brothers. That's the only reason why I'm not taking that.
I don't think that I'm going to be putting money on it, but it's interesting to think about. I have to tell you that Logan Paul has fighting odds against Floyd Mayweather.
That's just dumb. It's just weird. My last one, man. Look, we are watching the game 2 as we're talking about it, but the Wild pull off the upset in game 1, and right now they're the betting favorite, minus 114. Similar to the Nuggets Blazers. The Knights are minus 105, I think, to win the series, and the Wild are minus 114. I'm hammering the Wild because I think the Wild are hungry, and I think Vegas is playing too complacent.
That would be interesting. I would much rather. I think I would breathe easier if it was a Avalanche Wild matchup in the second round instead of an Avalanche Golden Knights series in the second.
I'd be able to breathe much easier, but if we beat the Vegas, it'd be much sweeter.
It's still they're able to hold them scoreless again for the first period in the game right now. Holy crap! I don't know what's going on with Vegas. All right, my last beat of the week. They have the week 1 lines out right now. The Bengals against the Vikings are a plus 152 underdog in week 1 of the NFL season.
Those are pretty good odds, I'll be honest with you.
I put it there because I think, the Vikings were not good last year. And the Bengals did get, at least on paper, better. It'll be interesting to see how the team looks, but on paper they should be better. And Joe Burrow being healthy for week 1, that's a big factor in why I think this one.
A little Joe Burrow versus Kellen Mond action? Question mark? QB controversy in Minnesota?
Hopefully, that would be something.
I think you'd be if Kellen Mond becomes a starter. I think you'd be more the favorite, but
could be. Or he might just beat the shit out of the Bengals even more because he's able to run and Kirk can't run. You like that? You like that?
You like that?
Yeah. Now let's get into play and player of the week. and we got all playoff moments. Obviously, I think that's pretty much what we're gonna have moving forward because you can't put some. Even though I did see a cool one today, I had a pitcher being able to field a crazy ball last week. This time, a guy got hit in the leg. He kind of hacky sacked it up to himself and then caught it off the bounce for the lineup.
Also, not to cut you off, did you see Kevin Pillar? Oh, he got it. He got fastball, 99-mile-per-hour fastball to the nose. He I'm sorry to cut you off, but I did see this. And he had an interview today on Tuesday, and both his eyes beat red. Nose is like completely shattered.
Yeah.
When like one of the most gruesome hit by pitch I've ever seen. It was like a faucet. You turn your faucet on slightly, it's like blood. Just imagine a faucet, just straight blood. That's what we saw come out of Kevin Pillar's nose. Kind of crazy.
He probably broke both orbitals.
Definitely not. That is not play of the week, but that is not play of the week.
Holy crap! I'll go first for play of the week. I have Jordan Bennington's belly kick save that he got on Rantanen because I don't think that he could try and do it again. That was I think he was trying to get up and then he ended up falling back down on the ice, and it just so happened that his leg kicked up at the right time and Rantanen didn't read it right. That was pretty impressive the way that he was able to save it. It might be the save of the playoffs. It's early, but
Grubauer did something very, very similar 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Very similar.
I remember that. I do remember that.
My play of the week, going to the same game, the Gravy Man with the save of the century. Grubauer was off balance. The Blues guy was able to wrap around, had an almost wide open net, but the Gravy Man slides into home basically and stops the puck from going in. One of the best saves I've seen from a non-goalie in NHL playoff history.
You will not score on my net. Yeah, Ryan Graves. We're a Ryan Graves Stan podcast here. We love the Gravy Man. Loved him when he was doing that thing on Lake Tahoe, and now he's doing his thing again. He's a guy that doesn't bring a lot production-wise, like I said, but he is a guy that brings grit to a situation in the Stanley Cup playoffs where every game is going to come down to how much grit do you have. Now, player of the week.
I'll let you start with this one.
I was gonna say you got our MVP line. So my player of the week, Gabriel Landeskog, the Gordie Howe hat trick, 1 fight, 1 assist, 1 goal. Plus he had 2 assists and was +3 on the night. So he's on one. I think Landeskog is the catalyst for this Avalanche team, and he's the guy who's been around the longest, has seen it at its best, seen it at its worst, and he's ready to lead these guys to the right places. He's very reminiscent of where Joe Sakic was in that 1996 season, where we're about to see a captain put his head down and just have his team follow behind him. And if you follow behind a guy like Gabriel Landeskog, he's going to lead you good places. So he's my player of the week.
Landy is a damn good leader, I'll tell you that. But now, let's talk about the not only player of the week, the player of the whole NBA season. Because it wouldn't be the end of the regular season if I didn't give you Nikola Jokic full season stat line. Because this guy is the unanimous MVP. Every single vote that has come out thus far has been for Nikola Jokic. The only thing that's going to alter this is the fan vote, because we all know everybody loves Steph Curry and James Harden and LeBron. Yeah, I don't care about the fan vote. He's going to be unanimous because of the strong writers and that they're actually going to get one right for once. But Nikola Jokic averages on this year 26 points, 26.4 points per game, 10.8 rebounds, 8.3 assists with a 31.36 usage percentage, which is number 1 in the league. Top 10 in each category. The first center to do that since Jimmy?
Wilt Chamberlain?
Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt the Tilt Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain. In each of those categories. He led the Nuggets in each of those categories. Yeah, I know. He led the Nuggets in each of those categories and led the Nuggets without Jamal Murray with the best record in the NBA since Jamal Murray's injury against Golden State. The best record in the NBA. This ain't a tanking team. This ain't a team that says that sees the media. This is a team that fights through adversity and shows why they are a tough team no matter what. So Nikola Jokic is going to be your MVP of the 2021 NBA season, and I cannot wait until I see that man hold the trophy that's rightfully his.
It's going to be a great feeling, and then he's the first MVP in Nuggets history, right? He would be the
first one in Nuggets history. The first center since, let's see if you can get this one. First center since who?
Tim Duncan?
Tim Duncan was a power forward, but he won MVP like 03.
And it's not going to be Giannis because he's also a power forward.
Yeah, so he's still in the media very much so.
Perkins?
No, not Perkins. Shaq.
Oh,
Shaq.
right.
It's Shaq.
Oh, yeah.
You really think Perkins was good
No.
enough to be an MVP conversation?
No, I didn't know. I thought he was the other guy from Get Up. I thought he was the football dude that they have. I didn't realize that they were two separate people until like 2 weeks ago. I don't know who Kendrick Perkins is.
Yeah, Shaq is the last one in 2000. It was either 2001 or 2002. So
Okay.
it'd be nearly 20 years since the last one. So it'll be cool to see when he wins the MVP.
Well, now that Nico's made me look like an absolute asshole for
Calling
having a sports
Walt
podcast,
Chamberlain
um,
and
that's going to be the end of this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 41.